So, who's better, LeBron or Jordan?
Michael.
And why?
I think, you know, I'm biased, obviously, because I played against Michael, and Michael is just one of those type of players that comes along once in a lifetime. Michael, you could never get to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mentally, you could never get to him. And believe me, I tried. You know what I mean? I didn't got to a lot of...
Your mama's a bitch.
No, I never did that. No, but no, you just, you know, you could never break his will. You know what I mean? You could never get inside his head. And, you know, with LeBron, I can see that a little bit. You know what I mean? You can get inside his head. He's getting better. You know what I mean? Early on, you probably could say that a lot, but you can see as he matured, you know, he's getting better at that. But Michael, you could never break him. And I think every player that played against him would tell you the same thing. And he made the game look so easy.
Yeah, he did.
Easy. I mean, like, uncomplicated. You know what I mean? He didn't have to take the ball between his legs 2 or 3 times to get his shot off. He just get to points on the court and he just knocked down shots. You know, he was just one of those clutch. He's probably, to me, I think he's the best clutch player ever.
Word.
You know what I mean? You never see him ever, majority of the time, miss game-winning shots. When he had to make a bucket, you knew that he was going to make that bucket. You know what I'm saying?
I was arguing with this rapper named dissects. I was telling him, yo, the difference between Michael Jordan and LeBron James, if LeBron James ain't winning, he'll quit right in the game.
Yeah.
Do you agree or disagree?
I ain't gonna say he gonna quit, but I don't see that what Michael do. Michael gonna fight you to the end.
He gonna fight to the end.
Yeah, he's gonna fight you to the end.
He was sick one time. He had the flu.
Yeah.
My man tried to tell me Michael Jordan was not sick for real. He was doing that as a publicity stunt.
He was sick. He was sick. I know some of the players that
got sick after that, right? Like they was leaving him on. They were like, "Yo, this nigga got me sick." I had the flu.
Nah, he definitely was sick. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
So that was real.
Yeah, that was real talk. Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
Come on, man. John Stark said that shit. What you gonna say now? Who was the most competitive team you ever played against, man? Was it the Pacers, the Heat, or?
Man, we had so many back then. You know what I mean? Obviously Chicago, Indiana definitely, because the way they played, it was similar to our style. They had, you know, inside out game the same way we played. And, you know, we used to hate that. You know what I mean? You hate to play against a team that's similar to you. But, you know, I would say Chicago was probably one of the most competitive teams that we played against.
Some compliments don't bounce off the rafters. They linger in silence, hitting deeper than any cheer ever could. And some truths come from only one kind of man, the kind who stared down the storm and walked away burning hotter for it. John Starks was that man, not a reporter, not a fan, but a warrior who went toe-to-toe with Michael Jordan and locked eyes with a man whose gaze didn't burn with anger or fear, just a quiet, terrifying certainty: I will win. Back then, there were no tweets, no viral highlights, only blood, sweat, and 2 cities hell-bent on defeating each other. New York, proud and loud; Chicago, steel and storm, shaped by a single obsession: who can stop me? Knicks versus Bulls wasn't just basketball. It was a war zone, every foul a direct hit. Every layup left a mark, every drive a battle scar. If Lakers versus Celtics was history, Knicks versus Bulls was Armageddon. And at the center of that storm stood John Starks. Not Ewing, not Oakley, but Starks, the blue-collar heart of New York, carrying the city's rage on his back. The man who wanted Jordan to bleed. But Jordan didn't. That was the nightmare. Years later, Starks would recall it slowly, his voice heavy, like tracing a wound that never healed. He took everything personally. That wasn't praise, it was surrender. In that confession lies the truth. Jordan didn't just beat you, he made you question the very limits of being human. When Starks said it, the basketball world went silent. No analysts, no debates, no GOAT arguments, because Jordan never needed validation. His enemies handed him his crown. Greatness isn't measured by who adores you, it's measured by who tried to destroy you and failed. And when even your fiercest rivals whisper the truth about you, that's not admiration, that's legacy. Jordan didn't need to roar. He simply existed. And those who once hated him ended up bowing, not by choice, but because history demanded it. True greatness can't be manufactured. It's forged in fire, baptized in rivalry, and sealed in the eyes of those who once burned with hate but left with reverence. When your enemy can't break you, you haven't just won the game, you've conquered time itself. Madison Square Garden, a crucible where legends were either forged or melted. 1993. The lights didn't glow, they glared. The air was thick enough to choke on. You could feel the rage, smell the fear, taste the hatred. Every squeak of sneakers sounded like a gunshot. Every play was pure intensity, a clash that shook the court. New York came loaded with force: Ewing, Oakley, Mason, an army of grit and pain. But at the center stood Starks, the embodiment of defiance. His goal: challenge the legend of Michael Jordan. And there Jordan was, calm in red, silent yet menacing, a presence that seemed to bend time itself. The crowd waited, hearts racing. Then Starks struck, cutting the baseline, soaring between Grant and Jordan, and unleashing a dunk so fierce it felt like the arena itself had shattered. The garden erupted, 20,000 voices roaring as if the world had tilted. For a heartbeat, Jordan seemed human, vulnerable, and Starks thought he'd conquered a god. His scream wasn't triumph, it was release, a purge of every moment New York had envied. But Jordan, unshaken, simply smiled, a quiet reminder that legends never fall. A quiet, knowing smile crossed his face, the kind that whispers, "You've just made a colossal mistake." The very next night, he returned to the same arena, facing the same crowd, but the energy had changed. Jordan wasn't there to compete, he was there to reclaim his legend. From the tip-off, the air itself seemed to bend around him. Every move, every fadeaway, was a lesson, every swish, a punishment. The garden, once roaring, now hushed in awe. 36 points later, silence fell, not of defeat, but of realization, like a confession. Even Starks looked drained, staring at the truth. You can't destroy someone who fears nothing. You can hit him, cut him, make him bleed, but you can never end him. Pain didn't weaken Jordan, it fueled him. He didn't play for cheers or trophies. He played for something eternal, a vow that no one could ever break him. Jordan didn't just play basketball. He turned it into a sacred battle against doubt itself. To the world, he was the GOAT, but to those on the court, he was a relentless mirror, reflecting every flaw, every doubt. Michael took everything personally. Trash talk, fouls, glares. He swallowed them all, turned them into fuel, and returned like fire incarnate, precise and unstoppable. The Knicks tried to shake him, shove him into chaos, but chaos was his sanctuary. Every nudge sharpened him, every insult cooled him. He didn't explode, he dismantled, shot by shot, move by move, until frustration turned inward. By the end, it wasn't just a loss on the scoreboard, it was a loss of belief. Every slight, every whisper, every challenge he absorbed became part of a symphony of dominance, and Starks felt it firsthand. Jordan didn't just beat you, he made you question who you even were. The more they tried to tear him down, the higher he soared. Every insult fed him, every doubt gave him air, and Jordan wasn't just a spark, he was a wildfire, consuming everything in his path. Trophies didn't drive him, the truth did, and that truth was ruthless. You don't beat Michael Jordan, you barely survive him. By the time you stepped on the court, half the battle was already lost. He didn't just play basketball, he became it. Walking past you in the tunnel, you felt inevitability itself. No trash talk was needed. His calmness screamed louder than any war cry. His gaze alone hinted at the ending, and that shattered opponents before a single dribble. Jordan didn't make you miss shots, he made you doubt yourself. Once that seed took root, he owned you. Even when he seemed to falter, it wasn't failure. It was calculation, study, preparation for the next unstoppable strike. The Knicks thought they could drown him in chaos, but chaos was his playground. Madison Square Garden didn't break him, it anointed him. He turned noise into reverence, making the loudest arena in basketball whisper his name. By the fourth quarter, the Knicks weren't guarding a player, they were guarding a legend. When the buzzer sounded, he didn't celebrate. He simply walked off, calm, inevitable, eternal. That was Michael Jordan, inevitability made flesh, greatness you can't fight, only witness. Even fearless New York fell silent, not from defeat, but from awe. Fear wasn't of what he had done, but of what they knew he was about to do. One narrowed gaze, and every defender understood. It was over. No words were needed. His stare alone declared, "I am not leaving this floor without your soul." And once he decided, everything else was ritual. New York threw everything at him, bodies, traps, double teams, even words sharp enough to draw blood. But none of it mattered. He absorbed the blows, glided through the paint, and scored as if pain were just part of the ritual. By then, it wasn't about athleticism. It was inevitability in motion. Every shot carried a message, every drive a sermon, every jumper a knife twisting slowly into hope. And when the ball fell through the net, Madison Square Garden didn't cheer or jeer. It sighed, a sound only a city can make when it realizes it has witnessed something far beyond itself. Michael Jordan didn't just beat New York, he possessed it. His conquest wasn't loud or arrogant. It came in silence, the quiet that follows truth when denial crumbles into awe. The Knicks, meant to be villains in his story, became something far more profound. Witnesses to greatness they could never touch. Every heartbreak, every near miss, every bitter night at the Garden didn't diminish his legend. It sharpened it. Michael Jordan didn't seek mercy. He demanded resistance, and New York gave him the perfect opponent. Proud enough to hate, strong enough to challenge, human enough to fall. By the final buzzer, even the fans who loathed him couldn't look away. Hatred melted into reverence. They didn't cheer, they simply watched. Because how do you reject the truth? You don't. You let it consume you. Fear, when it grows, stops screaming and starts listening. When Jordan walked off that court, there were no bottles, no curses, no chaos, just eyes locked on the red jersey, sweat glinting under the lights, number 23 disappearing into the tunnel like a prophecy fulfilled. In that instant, the city that never bows bowed, not in defeat, but in understanding. They had witnessed something purer than pride, something that rose above rivalry, destiny itself walking in human form. You could hate him, resist him, even try to fight him, but you would never forget him. Michael Jordan didn't just play in New York, he haunted it. 30 years later, anger has faded into reverence. Time softens bruises and silences noise, but memories remain razor-sharp, cutting across decades like glass under skin.